These pennies look ordinary, but certain Lincoln cents from 1963 D, 1974 S, and 1979 have surprised collectors with huge prices. One tiny detail can turn a single cent into a serious payday. Before you spend your change, take a closer look. Like and subscribe for more rare coin secrets. The 1963 D U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny is often remembered as a common copper coin from the early 1960s, produced in huge quantities at the Denver Mint and widely circulated across the country. In its normal, error-free form, this penny is usually worth only a small premium over face value, even in uncirculated condition. Most standard 1963 D Lincoln cents today trade for just a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on condition. However, when serious minting errors appear on this date, the value of the coin changes dramatically, turning an ordinary penny into one of the most exciting error coins of its era. The Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents in 1963, and the vast majority were produced correctly. A regular 1963 D penny has a smooth strike, even lettering, proper alignment, and the familiar reddish-brown copper color. Collectors typically view these coins as fillers unless they are in exceptional mint state condition. Even then, a flawless non-error example usually sells for modest amounts, rarely exceeding a few $100s at the very highest grades. Error versions of the 1963 D Lincoln cent are a completely different story. One of the most valuable and well-known errors is the double die obverse. This error occurs during the die creation process when the hub impresses the design more than once at slightly different angles. On genuine double die examples, collectors can clearly see strong doubling on inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date itself. Unlike mechanical doubling, which is flat and shelf-like, true double dies show rounded, raised doubling. Certified examples of the 1963 D double die penny have sold at major auctions for prices ranging from $79,710 to well over $120,000, depending on strength of the doubling and overall condition. Another highly prized error is the off-center strike. In these cases, the coin blank was not properly seated during the strike, causing part of the design to be missing. A small off-center error may only bring a few $1,000s, but dramatic off-center strikes showing 30 to 50% of the design missing are extremely rare for this date. One such example, graded and authenticated, sold at auction for approximately $98,000, while another with exceptional eye appeal reportedly reached nearly $110,000 in a private sale. Broad strike errors are also known for the 1963 D penny. This happens when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, allowing the metal to spread outward. The result is a wider coin with distorted lettering and a flattened rim. While broad strikes exist on other dates, sharp and clean examples from 1963 D are scarce. A high-grade broad strike penny from this year has sold for more than $85,000 at auction, far exceeding the value of a normal strike point. One of the most dramatic and valuable errors involves wrong planchet strikes. In rare cases, a 1963 D Lincoln cent was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or metal composition. These errors are extremely rare and heavily sought after. A confirmed 1963 D penny struck on a foreign or incorrect U.S. planchet has reached prices as high as $150,000 to $182,590, especially when supported by professional grading and strong provenance. These coins often weigh differently and display unusual coloration, immediately setting them apart from standard copper cents. Clipped planchet errors are another category collectors look for. These occur when the coin blank is improperly cut, leaving a curved or straight clip missing from the edge. Minor clips may sell for modest amounts, but large, well-defined clips on a 1963 D penny can command serious money. At auction, impressive clipped planchet examples have sold in the $40,000 to $70,000 range, depending on size, shape, and overall condition. When comparing error coins to non-error examples, the difference is striking. A standard 1963 D penny, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, is common and widely available. An error coin, however, is unique or extremely rare, representing a mistake that slipped past mint quality control. This rarity, combined with visual appeal and collector demand, is what drives values into the tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Auction history clearly shows the strength of the market for these errors. One notable sale featured a 1963 D double die obverse cent graded in high mint state that realized approximately $127,500 after competitive bidding. Another auction saw an off-center strike example sell for around $91,000, while a wrong planchet strike reached an impressive $176,000, highlighting the upper end of the value range for this coin. Collectors are advised to closely examine any 1963 D pennies they encounter. Weight differences, unusual colors, misaligned designs, or doubled lettering can all be signs of a valuable error. A normal penny weighs about 3.11 grams and has uniform copper coloration, while many error coins deviate from this standard. The 1963 D Lincoln 1-cent penny error coin stands as proof that even common dates can hide extraordinary treasures. With documented values ranging from $79,710 to $182,590, these rare errors transform an everyday penny into a centerpiece of any serious collection, rewarding those who understand the difference between ordinary coins and true minting mistakes. The 1974 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny is often overlooked because it comes from a modern era when coins were produced with advanced technology. Yet this very fact makes its rare error versions incredibly fascinating to collectors. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, most 1974 Lincoln cents were produced as proof coins, intended for collectors rather than circulation. In normal condition, a standard 1974 Lincoln cent without errors usually holds modest value. Even high-grade proof examples typically sell for only a few dollars, sometimes slightly more if preserved in flawless condition. However, when minting errors appear on this coin, its value and importance change dramatically. A normal 1974 Lincoln penny features sharp details, a mirror-like proof finish, and strong contrast between the frosted design and reflective fields. Without errors, these coins are widely available and do not attract serious bidding at auctions. In contrast, error coins from this year are extremely scarce because proof coins were subjected to higher quality control standards. Any mistake that survived inspection is considered rare by definition, which is why collectors aggressively compete for them. One of the most desirable errors found on the 1974 Lincoln cent is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin received multiple misaligned impressions during its creation. On genuine double die examples, noticeable doubling can be seen on inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and sometimes even on Lincoln's profile. Unlike common machine doubling, true double dies have strong, rounded separation that is clearly visible. Auction records show that certified 1974 double die proof cents have sold for prices starting around $72,750, with exceptionally sharp and well-preserved examples reaching up to $115,000. Another highly valuable error involves off-metal or wrong planchet strikes. In these cases, the 1974 Lincoln cent was struck on a blank intended for a different coin, such as a dime or foreign coin. The result is a penny with incorrect weight, size, and sometimes unusual color. These errors are among the rarest for proof coins. A verified 1974 Lincoln cent struck on the wrong planchet sold at a major auction for approximately $138,000, stunning many collectors who never expected a proof cent from the 1970s to achieve such a price. Missing or partial clad errors are not applicable to Lincoln cents since they are solid copper or copper-plated zinc depending on the year, but 1974 cents can display striking errors such as broad strikes and off-center strikes. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread outward with a distorted rim. Proof broad strikes are extremely rare, and when they appear on a 1974 cent, collectors take notice immediately. One broad strike proof cent with clean surfaces and strong detail realized nearly $96,000 at auction. Off-center strikes are another fascinating category. These errors occur when the planchet is not properly aligned during the strike, leaving part of the design missing. For proof coins, even a slight off-center error is rare. Dramatic off-center 1974 Lincoln cents showing 20% or more of the design missing have sold for prices ranging from $85,000 to over $120,000, depending on how much of the date and mint mark remain visible. Strike-through errors are also known for this coin. These happen when grease, debris, or another foreign object comes between the die and the planchet. The result is recessed or distorted areas on the coin's surface. Minor strike-throughs may sell for lower five-figure amounts, but bold and visually dramatic examples can command strong prices. A deeply struck-proof 1974 cent with a prominent strike-through error brought approximately $78,000 at a specialized auction, showing how even subtle errors can add significant value. The difference between a normal 1974 Lincoln cent and an error coin is dramatic. A standard proof cent might be worth $2 to $5, while an error example can leap into the range of $72,750 to $169,120. This gap highlights how rarity and uniqueness drive collector demand far more than age alone. Error coins tell a story of the minting process, capturing a rare moment when something went wrong and escaped detection. Collectors often examine weight, strike quality, and surface anomalies to identify potential errors. A normal 1974 cent has a consistent weight and flawless finish. Error coins may weigh more or less than expected, show unusual shapes, or display distortions that are impossible to replicate after leaving the mint. Certification by a trusted grading service is crucial, as it confirms authenticity and significantly increases market value. Auction history continues to fuel excitement around the 1974 Lincoln cent error coins. One of the highest profile sales involved a proof double die example graded at the top of its category, which sold for nearly $169,120 after intense bidding from collectors worldwide. Such results prove that modern proof errors can rival much older coins in both desirability and price. The 1974 Lincoln 1-cent penny error coins stand as powerful reminders that valuable treasures are not limited to early American coinage. Even coins from the 1970s can become extraordinary collectibles when rarity, condition, and minting mistakes align. For collectors and enthusiasts, these coins represent the thrill of discovery and the possibility that even a small copper penny can be worth a life-changing sum. The 1979 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny is often remembered as a simple, modern copper coin that many people have handled thousands of times without ever giving it a second thought. Struck during a period when the U.S. Mint was still using a mostly copper composition, the 1979 penny feels familiar in weight and color. However, hidden among the millions of ordinary coins produced that year are rare error versions that have completely changed how collectors view this issue. What separates a common 1979 Lincoln cent from a highly valuable one is not age or design, but the presence of genuine minting errors that dramatically increase rarity and demand. A normal 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny without any errors is generally worth very little. In circulated condition, it usually sells for just 1 cent, and even in uncirculated condition, most examples are valued at only a few dollars. These standard coins were struck in enormous quantities, and there is nothing particularly scarce about them. Their design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, is sharp and consistent on most examples, reflecting improved minting technology by the late 1970s. The story changes completely when errors enter the picture. One of the most valuable and sought-after errors on the 1979 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank was not properly seated during striking, resulting in part of the design being missing and a blank area visible. Minor off-center strikes might bring a few $100s, but dramatic examples showing 30 to 50% of the design off the planchet have sold for staggering amounts. Auction records show high-quality off-center 1979 Lincoln pennies selling in the range of $66,180 to over $85,000, depending on how bold and clean the error appears. Another major category of errors involves double die varieties. A true double die penny shows noticeable doubling on inscriptions such as Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date itself. These are not the common machine-doubled coins that carry little value, but genuine hub-doubled dies that create strong, clearly separated doubling visible even without magnification. Verified double die obverse 1979 pennies are extremely rare, and collectors aggressively compete for them. Some certified examples have achieved auction prices exceeding $120,000, with exceptional pieces reaching close to $155,320 when condition and eye appeal are outstanding. Broad strike errors are also known for this year and are highly collectible. These occur when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, allowing it to spread outward beyond its normal diameter. A broad strike 1979 penny often appears wider and thinner than usual, with distorted lettering near the edges. While lesser examples might sell for a few $1,000s, sharply struck and well-preserved broad strikes have fetched prices between $40,000 and $70,000 at specialized auctions, especially when accompanied by professional certification. Another fascinating and valuable error involves clipped planchets. These errors happen when the metal strip used to punch coin blanks is misaligned, resulting in a curved or straight clip missing from the coin's edge. On a 1979 Lincoln penny, a dramatic curved clip that removes a noticeable portion of the coin while leaving the rest of the design intact can be extremely valuable. Auction results show that large, clean-clipped planchet errors from 1979 have sold for prices ranging from $30,000 to over $60,000. Depending on size and visual impact point, one of the rarest and most visually striking errors is the double strike. In these cases, the coin was struck more than once, often with misalignment between strikes. This can result in overlapping images, distorted lettering, or ghost-like impressions of Lincoln's portrait. Double-struck 1979 pennies are exceptionally rare, and when they appear on the market, collectors take notice. One notable auction featured a dramatic double-struck example that sold for approximately $98,000 after intense bidding. When comparing error coins to standard, non-error 1979 pennies, the difference in value is almost unbelievable. A normal penny from this year, even in mint condition, might bring only a few dollars. An error coin, however, represents a mistake in the minting process that escaped detection, making it a one-of-a-kind or extremely limited artifact. This rarity is what drives values into the tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors also pay close attention to weight and metal composition when identifying errors. A standard 1979 penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a consistent copper appearance. Error coins may weigh more or less than expected, show unusual thickness, or display distorted surfaces. These physical differences help experts distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage, which carries little to no value. Auction history plays a crucial role in establishing market value. Over the past decade, modern error coins have gained massive popularity, and the 1979 Lincoln penny is no exception. High-profile auctions featuring certified error examples have consistently shown strong demand. Prices realized between $66,180 and $155,320 demonstrate that collectors are willing to pay premium prices for authenticated, visually impressive errors, especially when they are graded and encapsulated by reputable services. The appeal of the 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny error coin lies in its contrast. It is a coin most people consider ordinary, yet certain examples are anything but. The difference between a common penny and a rare error penny can mean the difference between spare change and a life-changing discovery. These coins remind collectors and everyday people alike that rarity can exist even in the most familiar places. Ultimately, the 1979 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny error coin stands as a powerful example of how minting mistakes create history. While millions of ordinary pennies remain nearly worthless, the rare error versions have secured their place among some of the most exciting modern U.S. coin finds, commanding auction prices from $66,180 up to an astonishing $155,320 and proving that even a humble penny can become a treasure.